Hello, I'm Marilyn Vanderburg. Whenever I address a national convention, I always try to address at least one junior or senior high school assembly in the same city. Several years ago, while addressing approximately 2,000 students in Ohio, I made this statement. I believe you can accomplish anything you want to if you work for it and plan for it. Do you believe that? Do you believe you can accomplish anything in the world you want to? I do. After the assembly, a boy came backstage and said, I wanted to be president of the student council. I worked for it and planned for it, but I did not win. How is it then possible to answer this boy? It was important to know why he wanted to be president, to be a leader. As a sign of popularity, did he want to change school policy? He could still accomplish what he wanted to, perhaps not in the way he had originally planned it, as president of the student council. I told him of a woman who, when she was in high school, had a dream of having a big family, not just 1 or 2 children, lots of children. Today she is 73. She's never married. We would say she did not accomplish her goal of having many children. But would this be true? Let's look at her life now. When my sister discovered that her second child was totally deaf, she and her husband had to make one of the biggest decisions of their lives. Where to take Kim so that she could learn to read lips and talk, so that in time she would be able to go to a regular high school and live a full life. They finally decided on a school very close to their home, where 2 sisters were teaching 24 deaf children. My niece Kim lived at the school from the time she was 2 until she went away to college. She's now 23 and recently married. But as a child, although she went home on some weekends and always during the summer, she lived at the school with the other children who became as sisters and brothers to her. My sister would be the first one to tell you that Kim really has 3 mothers. This woman's dream did come true. She has had more than 25 children whom she has fed, laughed with, cried with, taught. Her dream of having many children did come true, but not in the way she had originally thought about it. Sachi Kuchiki of Japan had a goal, a dream. He wanted to make sports his life, and he was a rising star in baseball in the Japanese major leagues. He was a catcher. During the game, a base runner crashed into him and fractured his shoulder, permanently injuring his throwing arm. His sports world had been shattered. One day he watched an Olympic ice skater. He fell in love with skating. He'd never skated before. He had no money for lessons, and there were very few places to skate in Japan. So he managed to obtain movies of top skaters, and he began teaching himself to skate just by studying the films. He became Japan's national skating champion, and then a star of the ice capades. He had made sports his life, but not in the way he had originally thought about it. But my favorite example is of Bill Havens, who dreamed of going to the Olympics in Paris on the canoe team. He worked for it, planned for it, dreamed about it. The announcement finally came. He was selected to go. But he also had another responsibility. He was married, and their first child was due the same week as the competition, and in 1924, there were no jets to speed travelers across the ocean. He made his decision. He would stay home with his wife. A happy, once-in-a-lifetime occasion to have a firstborn. But there was also a crushed dream. To miss his only opportunity to go to the Olympics. One would say his dream did not come true. But it was in July 1962 that the telegram arrived from the Olympics in Helsinki, Finland. The telegram read, "Congratulations, Dad. I won. I'm bringing home the gold medal you lost while waiting for me to be born. Your dream, your goal, can come true. Not always in the way you originally envisioned it. Mary Wells also had to cope with a crushed dream. She could have just accepted the disappointment and abandoned her goal, but she didn't. When she was a little girl, her mother would come into her room just after she'd fallen asleep and whisper, "You can do anything in the world if you want to badly enough." She would later test that belief. She had always wanted to be the president of an advertising agency, so she moved to New York City and worked her way up to being the senior partner of one of the most prestigious ad agencies in America. She was responsible for Braniff airplanes and personnel changing into bright colors and high style. She was the creator of such commercials as Plop, Plop, Fizz, Fizz, oh, what a relief it is. But one day she learned what had always been true. She just hadn't known about it. No woman would be considered for the presidency, no matter how talented. It was an enormous risk to leave her executive position, but she did. She became the president of her own New York agency, which now bills close to $500 million, with such accounts as National Geographic, Procter & Gamble, J.C. Penney. Mary Wells Lawrence later married the chairman of the board of Braniff. They have 5 children. And what do you think she whispers into their ears just after they've fallen asleep? One night last week, I went in to check our 8-year-old daughter Jennifer after she had just fallen asleep, and I just couldn't resist trying it. You can do anything in the world if you want to badly enough. You can do anything in the world if you want to badly enough. Thinking 3 times might be just right, I said once more, you can do anything in the world if you want to badly enough. And she sleepily opened her eyes and said, "Okay, Mom." And sometimes your dreams can come true because times change, situations change, opportunities change. In April 1979, Sherry Lansing was quoted in Life magazine as saying, "No woman will be the president of a major movie studio in my working lifetime." But that belief didn't keep her from working and preparing. As executive story editor, vice president of creativity at MGM, senior vice president of production at Columbia, being responsible for Kramer versus Kramer and the China Syndrome. Less than 1 year after her prediction, at age 35, Sherry Lansing was named the president of 20th Century Fox, the first woman ever to be the president of a major movie studio. Those who selected her said the explanation was simple. The key issues were talent and ability, and she has both. She worked, prepared, and her dream did come true. But too many times, other people want to choose our goals for us. They think we should go to graduate school or stay in our present job when we would like to change. Too many well-meaning family members and friends try to decide our most personal decisions, our goals. Seeking advice, listening to others, carefully weighing opinions is important. But you and you alone are the one who should decide who you want to be